Bitcoin is in a bear market, but how can you figure out when the bear market is over and position yourself before that or while this is happening for a potential bull market? In this video, I want to show you a very simple way to determine this, and especially if you don't want to spend thousands of hours in front of charts and figure out, oh, is this the bottom or not? There's a very simplistic way that I think works extremely well. Does it give sometimes false signals? Yes, of course, everything does in technical analysis. It's like if you want something certain, the only thing that's certain is dead. But we play here with the probabilities, and I believe that this type of strategy is perfect for low maintenance people that don't like being hands-on on the market, and also gives, I would say, quite good returns overall. So this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin, and as you can see clearly, we have broken structure. And what do I mean by this? We had a high that was formed here. We had a retrace, which was still a higher low compared to the previous one. And now we had a lower high here compared to this one on the closing basis, because as you can see, the wick here almost touched like 110 on Bitcoin. And then we have a lower low here, confirming officially a bear trend, in my opinion. And now this could get a lot uglier. Obviously, we could go a lot lower. We could have a temporary bounce somewhere around here in this area, in like the 100Ks. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And we don't need to know what is going to happen right now, because if we want to make sure we're getting ourselves the best way, we're positioning ourselves in the best way for a bull trend while the bear market is close to over, we need to look at just one simple thing: when market structure will return to bullish. And very simply put, so this is bullish structure and this is bearish structure. So lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, higher lows on the bullish side. And in this case, for this specific chart to turn around and for me to change my opinion and say, okay, this is turning bullish, right now it needs to pretty much close on a weekly basis somewhere around here. So 107, 108, and then give me the second confirmation, which I believe is key, is the higher low as well. So we need two confirmations at least. So you need, in this case for the bear trend that we already are seeing, is a lower low and a lower high and a lower low close on the weekly. And for reversal, we need a higher high and higher low on the closing basis. And if you see this and you'll be like, Z, you're crazy. Like, if the bottom is here, I will miss like a 33% move on Bitcoin before I start entering. And that's that's not very good. And I would agree with you, but usually the good thing about weekly charts is that they take quite a long time to recover, and usually it takes time also for price to consolidate after aggressive moves on each side. So what could happen, especially if this is combined with weakness on the overall market, is that we start consolidating somewhere in this area and not even get to this area. So something like this. And then somewhere in here, with the new structure and with the new low, with the new high, because currently the high is here, but in a few weeks time, we might have a high that is somewhere around here, somewhere around 90K, let's say, or maybe we go lower and we start forming a high somewhere here in the 80s. We don't know this. However, whenever you see a high form on the weekly, the first thing that you need to do is start monitoring when this significant high will start breaking and when we will have closes on the weekly above this high. And then the second confirmation obviously will be the higher low here in this case. What I like to do is position myself somewhere around here. So usually, I wait for the trend to be broken, and then the potential retrace, I try to position myself somewhere in this area. This is like one of my favorite setups, and as I said, quite simplistic, even without getting a full understanding of TA in this case. But you could also wait for the confirmation, so maybe a potential breakout and into price discovery into a new high, and then obviously place your stops below this high right here. How long this could take, I cannot tell you. We could be just in the beginning of a bear trend that could take years to play out. Sometimes, it takes a long period of time for Bitcoin. If we get a black swan either in the economy, or let's say Michael Saylor is close to liquidation on his BTC loans, this could also happen to be a very extended, just the beginning of a very extended bear market. We don't know this, but if you have patience and just monitor the weekly chart, I think this is a very good strategy. And let me show you some examples on different time frames here, on different periods of the price action. And I think this works also not only on Bitcoin, but pretty much on any asset class. But we're going to talk and use Bitcoin as example here. So exactly the same thing with this consolidation. Let's put it here. So we'll start from here. This is the low here that we have put. We made a leg up, a new high. We made a leg down, higher low compared to this one. But then, as you can see, we started closing on the weekly below this high. So the first signal is here. There it is. This is a lower high. And then the second was here on a lower low. And then even on the retrace, we have a lower high still compared to this one. And then there was a false signal here because technically, although there was a liquidation event, there are many reasons to believe this could be the bottom. We had a higher low here, but still a lower high. So we didn't have continuation. We didn't have follow through on these signals, because technically we had only one high here, higher low in this case, so just one confirmation, but we didn't have the second confirmation, which would have been here a higher high compared to this one. And then we fall back again into a lower low here, and then the first high was made somewhere around here, around 65k, and it was confirmed somewhere around here. So this is the double confirmation that I'm talking about. And I remember positioning myself here around 60k for the potential leg up. So this is one example of when in this case the bear trend here was over. We had the double confirmation and then we broke out into price discovery. Same happens in pretty much every bear market in crypto. You can see this one very clearly. This is the one with FTX and so on. You could see a false signal here, but again, we didn't have the double confirmation. Actually, we did, because we had lower high, lower low, and then we had a higher low here compared to this one, a higher high. So this was a massive fake out to everybody, and then we just collapsed. But this was led by Luna and all the other stuff that happened. So as you can see, it's not a perfect indicator, and you need to manage risk even here. But then once we got into a deeper bear trend territory, again, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And even if you missed this here, which was probably the best opportunity to buy Bitcoin, you could see that we had the confirmation of a high here, the retrace into like 20k area, and then the continuation obviously to this trend. And this was, I would say, the best risk to reward area, with the confirmations in place and a stop below 20k. So anywhere buying in this area, once we got out of this, was a good buy in general. And then let's go even further back. Let's go into COVID territory. We could see exactly the same here, like even before COVID, the depths of a bear market here. So we had lows. We broke down, capitulated, price started consolidating, chopping here, no action, pop. So first higher high compared to previous ones, and then obviously we consolidated here, we got another pop. But again, anywhere you bought in this area, it was a good buy, because yes, you waited more confirmation. This was at 3k. Who could have imagined so far away this price action and this low prices? And then obviously we buying anywhere in here in this consolidation was perfect, as we had the confirmations of a shift in the trend. And even another example, because it's not given that if we get at some point the trend will reverse again, you know, as it happened right here, and you could see it clearly. High, low, higher high. We had an equal high here, and then we started breaking structure. First we had a lower high here, and then lower low. We broke structure, breaking structure. This was the COVID dump. And then once we got out of it, you could very clearly see again breaking structure, confirmation that we have the first high here higher than the others, and then the retest for the second confirmation before the continuation of the trend. This works also on the daily, but I think the weekly prints better signals. And as I said, it sometimes prints you know, fake outs, but that's just part of the game. And I would suggest right now, go touch grass. Maybe it's not the best time to be buying crypto blindly, because as I said, this could take months to play out and potentially have more market structure here, and then try to play these ebbs and flows and the higher highs and the higher lows that I just discussed. That's everything. And if you have any questions, you know how to find me.